I've used this allusion to Schrodinger's cat to talk about what has prevented people from seeking help around their sexual issues. So I'm not like super well versed in this whole thing, but the idea is Schrodinger's cat lives in some sort of box, and quantum physics, quantum mechanics tells you that until you look, the cat could be dead or alive. So you don't know. But as soon as you open the box and look, it's one or the other. So that's my that's my full understanding of quantum mechanics here. But the concept is, as long as we don't look, it could still be okay. Once we start to look, maybe it's dead. So this applies to people. And I've heard, I mean, I haven't heard people refer to Schrodinger's cat, but I've heard people say, we were afraid to get help because what if we find out it's hopeless? What if we find out we can't fix this? It can't get better. What if we have to decide whether we're living like this or not? So, this is a real barrier for people reaching out for the help that could help you find out the cat's alive, I guess, fundamentally. So, I mean, I guess I want to honor the fear because I've heard it from so many people over the years how much courage it takes to come in and see a sex therapist or do some sort of online program with a coach, whatever it's going to be, and be willing to look and work on it. Now, first of all, if you just leave the cat in the box, if you don't look, if you kick this can down the road, like another thing I've heard tons of times from people, it's like, well, I mean, I know it's not good, but it's not that bad, right? It's a way of not doing something about this right now, and often it is out of that fear, because otherwise you would address it, right? So I get the fear. But the truth is, there really is hope for your sex life as long as the two of you love each other. You've got a foundation of a good relationship. You know, if you're in the stages of like one of the four horsemen of the apocalypse that Gottman talks about, defensiveness, criticism, stonewalling, contempt, right? If you've got serious relationship issues and a tons of contempt and conflict, and you can't, you almost don't even like each other. I can't, it's less certain you're going to be able to fix your sex life, right? You got to deal with those relationships things first, I would say, or at least get started on those so the two of you can collaborate and be a good team. But if you have a fundamentally good relationship, you love each other, you like each other, you have goodwill and respect and friendship. It doesn't mean you never fight or you never have conflict, right? But you've basically got the foundations of a good relationship. And I would say, if you're each willing to look at yourself and your own contribution and not just blame your partner, and you'd be open to some new information, a new way of looking at things, being willing to challenge some of your expectations, the way you've been thinking historically about sex and how it works. But with all those things, you can create a sex life, a life of physical intimacy together that is fun and easy for both people. There is a way to do this. I have seen this over and over and over in my work with people. So as long as you meet those basic criteria, there is a path forward. I mean, get good help, but there really is a way to do this. And in the meantime, your fear of finding out that the cat's dead, right, is keeping you living in a sex life, in a relationship that is not totally fulfilling, that is not relaxed, that is not easy. This is a stuff that keeps people awake at 4 a.m. with this gnawing fear. Like there's a sense of a growing distance with your partner. Sex is becoming this elephant in the room. I just had somebody say this the other day too. Oh my God, when a sex scene comes on TV, it's like this cringe, look away, this moment where you're sort of forced to confront what's not happening in your relationship. Like the emotional costs of not dealing with this, I would say are huge. They're kind of invisible because they're emotional. It's not like you can measure this in dollars, right? But I think if you think about it, you're aware that it is eating away at something. Now, it's never too late to start working on this and figuring it out. I've had people come in after decades, right? Or no sex for years and years, whatever it is. It's not like it's too late. But I do think it's easier if you do it earlier rather than later. And I guess primarily, why lose all that time? Right? All those years that go by where we could be more connected, where we could be free of this emotional burden and the drain that this is taking on our mental and emotional bandwidth, right? Like a waste of years, or it's a shame to lose those years instead of just dealing with it up front. So it's not like it's too late, but I think there's a serious cost to putting it off. Why not fix it now? Why not make this better so the two of you can just go on and live your life together and enjoy it and have this just be like, one more regular good part of your relationship, not such a big deal? That's what I want for people. But I understand the fear. You're not alone. It's common. Lots of people have expressed this to me. But I would just so invite you to have the courage to raise this issue with your partner, invite them, advocate, insist that you guys deal with this and work on it, find the right help to help you make the change, dig in and do it so that you can just enjoy the rest of your life together.